Sound familiar? You may not have noticed this, but since the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of commercials have begun to look and sound very similar. It was a trend noticed by Sean Haney, a marketer from Texas, best known on YouTube as Microsoft Sam, when he began working from home.
I put the TV on in the background, just on a low volume, and I started hearing, a series of similar commercials with that same piano music, the same, just platitudes like, we'll be here for you, we're in this together. And then I thought, these are all kind of sounding the same.
Nationwide has been on your side.
Restaurants have always been there for you.
Nissan has been with you through thick and thin.
We will do what we've always done.
And so I did a little research. I found, a handful of ads and realized just how truly similar they all were. And I said, okay, I think I found, a narrative here.
Sean cut together 60 different ads into one 3-minute long feature. It highlighted that not only did the ads sound the same and look the same, the message was the same.
Especially now.
Right now.
Now more than ever.
More than ever.
This whole trend between the somber music and the message, that's not new to this pandemic. And so when this came out, they said, okay, we got to play it safe. This is a touchy time. So, the epitome of being safe is using, stock piano music. Don't say the words pandemic or coronavirus, say uncertain times.
Difficult times.
In these troubled times.
Challenging times.
In these times of uncertainty.
And during these times of uncertainty, many people are stuck at home. Sean questions if brands understand what consumers want from commercials.
When people are at home watching, their favorite program, they want to forget about the world around them. They want to forget that they've been laid off and are stuck in their home.
Home. Home. Home. Home. Home.
Home.
And hearing these messages is just kind of bumming them out more. And people universally hate advertising. They use ad block. They cut the cord on cable so they don't have to watch ads. But the only ones I've ever seen that have had a positive response are, either the Super Bowl commercials or insurance companies like Geico, who have these, comedy shorts as their ads. They're not really selling their product in it. They're entertaining and people like them. People quote them and people have a positive connotation for these insurance companies, which are probably the most hated industries. But they still have this positive connotation because they make you laugh.
While it might not be appropriate to laugh under lockdown, brands want to stand out from the crowd. Sonic branding is playing an increasing role.
When you send a message to consumers as a brand, you want to be sure that everyone knows who is the sender. And of course, in the COVID times, we experience a lot of very similar advertising. If you close your eyes, are you able to understand who is the sender? Because especially in these times where the tonality of the communication is getting so narrow, I think that audio and audio strategy can help brands to be recognized.
You might recognize this as T-Mobile, or this as McDonald's. And if you've ever heard of this, you know you're at a train station in France. But sonic branding is about more than just a jingle at the end of an ad.
There is a lot of possibilities to integrate the brand communication into seamless customer experience if you are able to watermark your brand in the soundtrack of a commercial.
Having a complete sonic brand allows you to get the tone right, something that might be useful at times like these.
You can filter your own identity through the different tonalities and emotions that are required by certain communication. Of course, this doesn't work if you have only a jingle. That's why we talk about having a sonic DNA, which is more than just one musical motif. It's a set of ingredients that you can take on a journey, trying to adapt them in the right way for the right context. And for example, in the COVID-19 context is more this somber, empathic way of communicating.
AMP has been scoring brands on sonic strategy based on another well-respected brand ranking.
We took the 100 most valuable brands from the Interbrand ranking and we analyzed their sonic identity to discover, for example, how brands are performing in audio recognition, connection with consumers, or, for example, the return on investment if they do a lot of communication, what on the audio side, what they get back in terms of engagement.
At 10 was Nintendo, which built on theme tunes with the Sonic branding around their Switch game platform. Disney came in at number 9 thanks to an iconic theme tune. At 8 was Coca-Cola. At 7, Intel builds on that often used Intel Inside jingle. I'm Loving It puts McDonald's at number 6. Amazon's at number 5.
I can play music.
Google lies at number 4.
Good morning.
You have 25 appointments at 7:15.
Apple's at number 3, pipped by energy giant Shell at number 2. Next to a strong Sonic identity across social media. And at number 1 is MasterCard, a brand that's got its eye on the future of brand communications.
The dimension of sound has not at all been exploited by all the brands. Today, you're talking about smart speakers, which are already growing like crazy. But then tomorrow, you're talking about connected and autonomous cars. You're talking of Internet of Things. You're talking of wearables. Each one of these will give you an audio cue. Every connected device is a device for consumer engagement. It took us 2 full years at MasterCard to create our audio, our Sonic branding strategy.
MasterCard debuts our Sonic brand. Let's take a listen.
There is psychology involved. There is neurology involved. Consumers react to different sounds, different notes, different rhythms in very different ways.
So how can brands get the tone right under COVID conditions?
Don't fall into the temptation of standardizing your stuff. In a sad situation, you don't have to perpetuate the sadness.
They have to put the tonality of the communication in this kind of, piano feeling and this kind of intimate instrumentation. And I think this is the right thing because this is required by the context.
It should be pleasant. It should be neutral because it should not dominate. It should be supporting any situation. It should be memorable. Otherwise, there is no association with your brand and your melody. It should be hummable. That which you hum sticks in your mind a lot more. It should be highly versatile, meaning whether the melody is playing in Dubai or it is playing in Shanghai or in South America, it has to sound native to each one of these environments.
We use a lot James Bond as an example of very, very good sonic identity. In James Bond, you have romance, then you have moments of action. The question is, how can brands use the right tonality for the right context? And this kind of piano intimate tonality is maybe the right one for the COVID communication, for example, but still being recognizable.
A sonic strategy may help you stand out, providing the bond between what a brand looks like and sounds like.